Hey, what is up guys, Omogonix here and welcome back to a brand new tutorial here on the channel. So today's tutorial is going to be a Blender tutorial, and I thought it'd be cool to teach you guys how to do cloth simulation in Blender. So I made a model for a character recently where I used the cloth physics for it, and I thought I'd show you guys how I did that. So basically, as you can see with the dress, the cloth is very good looking. I think it's very realistic looking. Blender does have very cool cloth physics. So anyways, without further ado, let's get right into this. So first off, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a random mesh into my scene. I'm going to add a sphere. So this is going to be what my cloth is going to be falling onto, so then we can create its shape. And then next up, we're going to go add another mesh, and this will be a plane mesh, and this is going to be the cloth itself. And now I'm just going to go into edit mode and then scale this. So just like that. And you can make it as big as you want. Oh, I want it to be symmetrical like that. There we go. Actually, maybe something like that size. Yeah, we'll go with that size for now. Alright, so now we have our object, and we have our cloth, our plane in the scene. So what I'm going to do here is on the object that I want my cloth to fall onto, I'm going to go to the modifiers here, and then we're going to go add modifier, and then you want to add physics collision. So you want to add collision to your sphere here, or whatever mesh you're using. And then if we go over to the physics tab here, we can now see the properties for that collision. Now, you don't really need to change anything up here. You can play around with the settings if you want to, but I always just leave the collision settings as default. So now with the plane here, what we're going to do is, first off, I'm going to subdivide it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into modifiers, generate, and I'm going to generate, we're going to generate a subdivision. Yeah, there it is, subdivision surface. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bunch of subdivisions to this plane. So as you can see, with no subdivisions, it's just a basic square. And then it starts to get more and more smoother, like a circle, the more you subdivide it. If you want to have that kind of thing going on, you can if you want to. The more subdivisions, the better, because then that means that there's going to be more accuracy with your physics. So less subdivisions you have, the less accurate in physics it's going to be. So yeah, it is always good to subdivide, so then you can make sure that your cloth physics is as accurate as you do want it to be. Just do keep in mind that, you know, the more subdivisions you do have as well, the more I think that will affect performance with the cloth physics. Alright, so now once you're happy with your subdivision, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another modifier. And this time it's going to be for the cloth. So we want to add a physics cloth. And do make sure that you do have your plane selected as well when doing this. Alright, there we go. So now we have our cloth modifier. So now we've got to go back into the physics tab. And now as you can see, we have our cloth physics here. So we do have a bunch of settings. I don't really play around with these much, but I will show you guys what I do usually play around with. So what I usually do is I go down to the collisions here, and I like to turn down the object collision distance, so then we've got more accurate collision with the object we want it to collide with. So usually I just turn it down to something like 0.005 or 0.007. And then we have the self collisions. So with this distance, I usually do something about the same. So what self-collision is, right, is it basically means that the cloth can collide with itself as well. So all the different parts of the cloth can actually collide with each other, like how they would in, you know, real life as well. Now, having self-collisions enabled might affect performance a bit, I would guess, since, you know, it's adding a bit more collision to the scene. But if you want to, go ahead and try it out. Also, I just do want to say as well, yeah, when you do, depending on your system, right, when you go to test out the cloth physics, you could experience a massive frame rate drop. I mean, even with my system that I have, I do. But yeah, so do keep that in mind. If you have a low-end PC, do be careful. Alright, so now that we have all that applied, let's actually go test it out and see if everything is working correctly. So let's go play on the animation here, and boom, as you can see, it falls. There we go. So my frame rate is currently at less than 15 FPS right now. And yeah, as you can see, there is our cloth, and it's pretty accurate too. Now, there are a number of things which I don't like. So first of all, we do need to smoothen out the cloth so then it no longer has the, the exact face as you can see. So that's one thing we need to do. So let's actually go do that first off. But yeah, so the physics is pretty good. If you guys followed all the steps there, you should have gotten a very similar result to that. Alright, so I am going to actually go shade smooth now. Shade smooth. And now let's see how it looks when we simulate the cloth. And boom, now that looks a lot better. However, there is one more problem here. So as you can see, it looks almost like pixelated at the edges there with the cloth. Let me show you guys how to fix that. So there's actually a trick. We can actually add another subdivision surface to this cloth. And by the way, before I do continue on, one thing that I do want to mention as well is make sure that, and the ordering is very important as well, make sure that your cloth modifier is below your subdivision surface modifier. I forgot to mention that as well. That is very important. And now we're actually going to be adding another modifier. And this will be a subdivision surface modifier. And boom, there we go. Look, it just instantly looks so much more smoother now. And by the way, you can keep this subdivision surface modifier below your cloth modifier, this second one here. And if you want to, you can subdivide it again to make it look even more smoother. Look how smooth that looks now. That looks incredibly smooth. But yeah, no, that's awesome. Alright, so now that we have that, let's actually go simulate these cloth physics again, and let's see how it all looks. Probably get a low frame rate. Oh, yep. Oh, it still hovers around the same. So even though there's technically more subdivisions, it still runs about the same. That's cool. Alright, so as you can see, there's my cloth, and it looks really, really good. Like, you can see all the creases and stuff in it, you know, very realistic. So now you might be thinking to yourself, how do I turn this into a mesh to use for a model, if you're someone who wants to use this as a model? Well, what we can do now, so go to the specific frame in the cloth animation you want. So for me, I'm going to go with frame 122 here, since I think that looks really good. And then I'm going to go right click, convert to, and then mesh. And boom, now it is a mesh. Just like that, and you can do whatever you want with it. You know, you can move it around how it is. You know, you can scale it. You can even sculpt onto it further and edit it if you want to in the the edit mode. And look at all them, wow, look at all them subdivisions right there, guys. That is a lot of subdivisions. But yeah, so as you can see, we now have this perfect cloth here. So anyways, guys, hopefully you all did enjoy the video. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully this taught you all about making a cloth in Blender. I'll be sure to see you all next time. Thank you all for watching once again, and bye-bye.